So, my fiance has way too many role-playing books. Like, you see this? That's not even a pin drop. Oh, keep going. Oh, there's more. Like, you don't even know. This isn't even half. Keep going. No, that hardly even counts. There's more. I know, it's piled so high you can't even see them.
I'm back here.
But there's more coming. It's coming. Yeah. Keep showing them. We're getting close now. Hi, I'm still here.
That's all the books. This is the magazines.
Oh right, there was more on the table, or the chair I mean. I forgot about those ones.
This is my entire role-playing library. And we're going to get into it a book at a time here on Retro Reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Retro Review, a review show where we go through my huge collection of Dungeons & Dragons books, along with other role-playing games, and discuss them one book at a time. And to keep these episodes nice and short, Laura is here.
Hey everybody, I've got a list of questions to go through to, keep these episodes short. So first question, what book do we have today?
We have the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Player's Option, Combat and Tactics.
Nice. Do you want to give us a quick synopsis?
Alright, I'll try to make this quick. This book was published when Wizards of the Coast, who currently makes Dungeons & Dragons books, bought TSR and was publishing almost all the stuff that's in the black border style. Those are all Wizards of the Coast era TSR. And what this book is this is like a play-tested beta version of the 3rd edition combat rules, designed to let players be able to have a more immersive and natural feeling version of the way combat is. So it's basically taking old school D&D and patching it so when they got ready to do 3rd edition. So there's a lot of stuff that's like 2nd edition version of 3rd edition rules.
Okay.
In here. Like different battlefield terrains, stuff for flanking and cover, and being able to use miniatures in the game, because for a while people were doing theater of the mind, where it's just like you're telling the story sitting around the table, you might have a few maps to look at, but you're not actually using miniature figurines like they used to in the original versions of D&D, when it originally started being like an add-on to your tabletop war games.
Yeah, gotcha. So where did you get this book?
B. Dalton Booksellers, part of the era before I went to college, and was just buying D&D books there. Whenever me and my friends were going to the Presque Isle Mall, we'd just stop in and I'd buy a D&D book.
What do you like about this book?
I like 3rd edition's combat rules. So I liked that type of combat, of having more stuff that you can do with your weapon proficiencies. Instead of just like learning how to fight with a new weapon, you can get more advanced with the style of fighting with that weapon. Mm-hmm. More tactics and tricks and stuff that you can do with fighting. How to disarm with weapons, and gave you a lot. Like the name of it says, player's options. It gave you a lot more options. This also had critical hits. Mm-hmm. So if you roll a natural 20, you deal, instead of just dealing double damage, You could, depending on what kind of weapon you had, you could actually, chop off someone's hand, all Star Wars style with a sword, or you could, crack somebody's skull so hard they just keel over. You could actually puncture a lung, and then what happens if your lung's punctured, type stuff. It made combat a lot more gritty and real using this book.
Okay, yeah, that's neat. Is there something you didn't like about this book?
I didn't like that when I tried using this book, my group was like, no man, I'm like trying to add this stuff in. It was too much of a shift for them. And it really is this adds on, this makes combat back then a lot more complex, but if you've been playing a lot more of the newer versions of D&D, this is all the stuff that you look in the rules of the player's handbook, you're like, well, how do I do this? What happens if I do it? Why shouldn't I get... So I hated the fact that everybody complained when I tried using this stuff, but then when we all switched over to later editions, this stuff all became... They're like, oh yeah, that's great. And I was always like, yeah, that was in combat and tactics.
So would you recommend it to other gamers?
Definitely if you are a 3rd edition, 3.5 edition, or 5th edition D&D player, and you do want to try using the old Advanced Dungeons & Dragons or original Dungeons & Dragons games, and you want to keep a bunch of that newer stuff for combat in the game, this will have all the information you need in order to make those updates to the old editions.
Okay, yeah, got you. Are you planning to keep this book?
I am keeping this because this is one of the 7 core books for 2nd edition D&D. So just to have that completeness of it, I probably will actually use a bunch of this because I do love the new way the combat system is. So I definitely plan on keeping this around. Kind of use the basic rules to get players used to it, and then start adding in some more stuff as people adjust to the old style rules.
Yeah, nice. Okay, those are all my questions.
Yeah, and that's all I really got to say about this. Again, for comments, seeing how this was one of the ones that my players are like, no, we're not using this. What's some books that you've picked up as a DM that your players have been like, no, we're not using this? Leave the name of those books down below. Give me some ideas of some stuff to look at. And leave a like, share, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. But that's it. So,
Okay, good night, everybody.
peace.